Dear students, in this video lecture, we will study about the analog multiplier IC AD633, and we have already covered this topic, analog multiplier. What do you mean by an analog multiplier? Analog multiplier is a circuit whose output voltage at any instant is proportional to the product of instantaneous value of two individual input voltages. So, let's begin with our topic, that is analog multiplier IC AD633, and the first one is the schematic representation with two inputs and one output of an analog multiplier, and the next one is the schematic symbol of AD633 multiplier IC. It's an 8-pin IC, and AD633 multiplier is a 4-quadrant analog multiplier. It possesses high input impedance, and this characteristics makes the loading effect on the signal source negligible. It can operate with supply voltages ranging from plus or minus 8 volt to plus or minus 18 volt. The IC does not require external components. The calibration by user is not necessary. The typical range of the two input signals is plus or minus 10 volt. And next, see the schematic representation of a multiplier. Already we have seen the schematic representation. The schematic symbol of an analog multiplier is already we have seen in this slide, and the output V0 is the product of the two input Vx and Vy divided by a reference voltage V reference. Normally the reference voltage V reference is internally set to 10 volt. Therefore V0 is equal to Vx into Vy by 10. In other words, the basic input-output relationship can be defined by V0 is equal to K into Vx into Vy, where K is equal to 1 by 10, a constant. Therefore, for peak input voltages of 10 volt, the peak magnitude of output voltage is 1 by 10 into 10 into 10, that is equal to 10 volt. Thus, it can be noted that as long as Vx less than 10 volt and Vy less than 10 volt, the multiplier output will not saturate. And next we can see what are the multiplier quadrants. Multiplier quadrants means the transfer characteristics of a typical 4-quadrant multiplier is shown here. Both the input can be positive or negative to obtain the corresponding output as shown in the transfer characteristics curve. And the transfer characteristics of a typical 4-quadrant multiplier are shown in this figure. Both the inputs can be positive or negative to obtain the corresponding output as shown in the transfer characteristics. Okay, already we have seen this analog multiplier quadrants in the previous video lecture. That means single quadrant, if Vx and Vy, the two input voltages, it is unipolar, then Vout is also unipolar. 2-quadrant means Vx is bipolar, Vy unipolar, the output is bipolar. 4-quadrant means Vx, the input Vx and Vy both are bipolar, we will get the output voltage. Vout is also a bipolar. And in the next video section or lecture, we can see the applications of multiplier ICs. The multiplier ICs are used for the following purpose: voltage squarer, frequency doublers, voltage divider, square rooter, phase angle detector, and rectifier. We will see these topics in the coming video lecture.